Hi, and welcome back to Get Started with IBM Streams. This is part 2 of the solution video for Lab 3. Now we'll be taking a look at the Streams console. On your desktop, you should find the Streams console link. Double-click on it. This should open it in Firefox for you. Now go to Advanced, and we need to add a security exception. Confirm the security exception, and the Streams console should load for us. Now the username is streamsadmin, and the password is just password, with 0 replacing the O. And let's log in. We're initially shown the management dashboard, which monitors the domain from an admin's point of view. We have a useful navigation bar showing the hierarchy of objects and streams. We also have cards for some of these objects that indicate health or the load that they have on the system. It becomes a lot more impressive and useful as you begin to have multiple clusters and more jobs running. Most cards have a gear icon to allow you to further configure the card's settings. For example, right here. They also have a flip option to show you the tabular data behind the graphs. You can resize and rearrange these cards any way you want. Now that we're a little more familiar with the Streams console, let's check out the application dashboard. We can do that by clicking on Management Dashboard, Open Dashboard, then Application Dashboard. There are a few cards here that are different than the management dashboards. The most apparent one is probably the Streams graph, which gives us an instant graph-like view of our app. We can hover over the operators and streams for more details and actions. The do-it-yourself section should have explained most of these cards to you. Alright, so the next part is a bit optional. If you don't mind waiting 40 minutes, you'll notice that your job actually turns red here. Why does this happen exactly? Well, our file is being read every 45 seconds thanks to that script we ran, but our throttle operator doesn't finish outputting all that data within that 45 seconds. That means that there's always a bit of extra data left in our throttle's buffer, and this increases every time we read a new file. And eventually, this builds up enough for Streams to consider it a congestion problem. And it takes approximately 40 minutes. Now lastly, let's take a closer look at our Streams graph and do something with it. The Streams graph is a good way of identifying bottlenecks. Bottlenecks are operators that limit the flow of tuples. We only used a throttle operator here to more easily observe our data. In most cases, they're not desirable. You usually want your data to be going as fast as possible. Now let's monitor our filtered stream by hovering over it and selecting Create Dashboard View. In the Basics tab, let's give our view a more descriptive name, like Filtered Cars. In the Buffer tab, let's set the tuple to second throttle to 5 and our limit by tuple count to 50. And click OK to create the view. It should be created for us at the bottom left here. In the view we just created, let's select the first option here, Create Time Series Chart. And let's give it a more descriptive name. Let's call it Filtered Cars Speed. In the categories, let's select the second option here. And for line measured against this attribute, let's select speed. For plot lines for each unique value of, let's select ID and leave the all values option the same. So essentially, speed here is the y-axis values and ID will be the x-axis values. Let's click OK to create the chart. The chart has been created for us, and let's do the same for heading. So let's give it a better name. And let's set heading for the first option here and ID for the second. For those who are interested, you might also want to create another view for the averaged stream instead of the filtered one and gather analytics off that. For example, how the average speed changes as the ID changes. So that's about it for this lab. You have now learned how to create views and graphs to depict your data both numerically and graphically. Hopefully this was a good first introduction to the Streams console and showed just how useful it can be. In the next video, I'll be introducing you to Lab 4, Developing Modular Applications. I'll see you then.